Hello and welcome to the Marbula Global podcast, where we are for the first time going to be analysing what this week of marble racing has brung. And before I forget, the Championship Marbula Global has just got a team in, is the Marble. I've forgotten in a second. No offence to them at all. Marble World Racing Championship makeup, just in case that. I'm going to put it in the description, whatever. I'll put it in the description, a link to the league, but just because I'm probably going to forget in a second, that is the league. Anyway, let's do a segment which eventually is going to be bigger, but it's analysing the standings of the championships. And well, we've only got one championship at the moment. So, for the Marbula Global 2D Esports Series standings, Firefly has come out not on top because all of the marbles in the top four are drew. I don't think I've done the calculations properly because I think Firefly has actually been the least consistent out of all of them throughout the year, so she wouldn't be on top. I reckon that would be Purple Flower, who would be the winning marble out of those lot. But we've got a very, very tight top four. The biggest surprise of the 27 pointers is Black Hole, who he is basically he's not been he's not been getting wins throughout the season. He's got one P3, but that is the best that he's done all season. He's had a bunch of bad starts, yet he's got 27 points. Grey Mist has been basically just in the top three all the time. I think from memory, he's the only marble to get a top three in every single race, though Purple Flower has been probably the most impressive out of the top four marbles, as the top four are all drew. But Purple Flower has won the first race, then won P3 in the second race before having a bit of a slump for the previous two races, but she's been there in the top four for basically every single event, which has got her that position. Firefly, however, the reason she's there is because of a slump from Purple Flower and Grey Mist and other marbles. Like Green Goblin, he's got 23 points and is in P6 after. But well, we're gonna get to him later. But Firefly's managed to climb her way up the leaderboard, get one win, get a P2 with the other marble. Sandstorm getting one win, surprisingly. That makes up the majority of her points. The win that she got, I believe, in the third race. Is that Sandstorm's win in the third race basically makes up the majority of her 14 points, 10 of them in fact. The rest of the races, she's finished in P4 or P3 or 2, not P4, P last, apart from the previous two races where she's really got her game up slightly with a win, but we'll analyse her performances later. Pink Poppy, she's got 24 points and she's basically just had a consistent season. She's been leading that. I'm not going to say there is a half midfield pack, so she's been leading that half midfield pack all of this season, just getting in points. I don't actually know too much about her results this season. She's just been having a bit of a quiet start to the season, getting some good points in. She's leading Green Goblin. I believe she's possibly got I think a P2 in the last race. That's probably her standout performance, but other than that, she's really just been quietly, much like Black Hole. So I'd say Black Hole and Pink Poppy, they've both been just quietly just nailing good points results in, and that's got Black Hole to P4, joint P1 even, and Pink Poppy into P2. So that's brilliant result there. Green Goblin, who's in P3 just for the fact that all the other marbles are joined, but he's had a very good start to this season. He's had the best two first performances. The first two races I think he had the race of the season. He had he got two P2s, and he just racked up a total of 18 points in the first two races there. He's slumped ever since, I believe, getting P7s and one P9 in the previous two races, though I may be mistaken. But he's basically just had a really great start to the season. I think he's had the best start to the season, but he's just really dropped the ball, I'd say, in the second half of the season so far. We're only at the 1/4 mark, so there's easily a comeback for him at this point, but just brilliant start and a disappointing two last races for him. Marmite, once again, I'd say Marmite and Cocoa Bean have been two marbles, so you just don't really notice them. I believe Marmite had one podium this season. I think it was first or second race. Yeah, it was the first race, I think. But he's basically just been there. He's much like I put him in the group with Black Hole, Pink Poppy, Marmite, and Cocoa Bean. They've not been doing badly. They've just been nailing some good points, and I don't even know his results off the top of my head. I should probably been more organised for this, but yeah, I don't know his results. So I know he's got P5. He spent the first two races in P5, in fact, which gave him a grand total of 10 points in those two races. But he's really has been quiet. Cocoa Bean, I think, he's actually, apart from Marmite, I'd say he's the most consistent marble, getting two P5s in the first two races. Maybe Sandstorm, but or Blue Ocean, but that's not for good reasons. These two are I think will be good in the midfield pack. Cocoa Bean, he's basically had the same season as Marmite, I'd say. He's been just nailing in good points positions, P6s, P5s. He's just been there getting in all those good results, which has given him a good amount of 22 points. We forget he's further down the order than he should be, just because the top four have been stunning this season. But I think he's had a really good start to the season, and he should be impressed with it. And well, Sandstorm and Blue Ocean, what we're getting to here is the two, I'd say, the only two marbles I'm really disappointed with. Sandstorm, she got a win, which has given her 14 points. But if you take away that win, she's got 4 points on the board, and she should be in last if she didn't have that brilliant standout win, which she did deserve, so I'm going to keep it in. But she's just, along with Blue Ocean, they've just been really disappointing, getting consistently for the first two races. Sandstorm, she was the last position marble, and she came second to last in the fourth race, which got her 2 points, I think. But she got a win, which has given her 14 points. So there's a big gap between her and Blue Ocean. In fact, she's got double the points of him, but it doesn't tell the full story. I think, other than if you take away that win, she's had a worse season. She's had a worse, less consistent season than Blue Ocean. So he's really, really unlucky not to be ahead of her. Blue Ocean, he's just had a slump. He's had no standout performances. Second to last in a bunch of races. Second to last. But he's also got, I think, he's got a few lasts, including the race that Sandstorm won. I believe he was in last position. He's also had, I think, third to last. So he's just been disappointing. So you can actually see the top. There's literally not a win in the stand. There's any given race. Cocoa Bean could actually take the lead of the championship. He is in P8, but because it's so close, you can see there's not a clear top field yet or a midfield. There's just a clear two back markers, because they've been two marbles have just been disappointing for the first two races of the season. But anyway, this is enough of talking about the championships. Let's get to the race of the season, which I've given to Green Goblin for his charge after a poor start in the second race, overtaking multiple marbles, including Purple Flower, to take second place off her. And secure get his second P2 in the standings. He's of course dropped off since then, but the first race of him would have, if he hadn't performed in the second race, he still would have got the drive of the season because he's had the best individual races. Meanwhile, I've given Purple Flower the driver of the season award, which is different because I think she's had the overall best season. It's close between the top four. I was going to give it to Black Hole for a while because he's managed to do it without getting to the top four without getting a win, unlike all the other marbles, which shows a sheer consistency that I'd give none of the other marbles on the grid. I was also going to give it to Grey Mist due to his getting a podium in every single race, I believe. Maybe not the last race, but I decided Purple Flower. I was also going to give it to Firefly for a bit, but I can, in my right mind, give it to her for, like, despite she's had a great 2 races, she's just not. She was finishing in third to last for the first 2 races, so I can't give it to her in my right mind. And here is the Slump of the Season award, and this one was close. If it wasn't, it was of course going to be between Firefly, Blue Ocean, and Sandstorm, but I gave it to Blue Ocean just because Sandstorm, she got that P1, which was a shock, but that means she had had a good race. Firefly's had a comeback and has managed to get herself into a championship position after the first 2 races were a bit disappointing, which credits to her for that. But Blue Ocean, he's just had no good performances throughout the season. He's in last position. He's been getting lasts to bottom 3s throughout the whole season, consistently in second to last, so P9s at the start of the season. So he's just not had a good race, and it's just been season even, and it's just been getting worse. Of course, we're at the 1/4 point, so he could still win the championship. Any of these marbles could, but him and Sandstorm, they're both they're both over a race win out of contention for the title, which means they can't in the next race take the championship lead. So both of them have been disappointed, but Blue Ocean's not, unlike Sandstorm, hasn't had a good performance like a win. So I cannot put any higher than this. Anyway, silly season. Global Marble Sports has joined the May Cup. Of course, this is in the. Let's check. Sorry for putting up the sliders because this is a PowerPoint, of course. But they've joined the Marble World Racing World Championship May Cup, which and the drivers have already been confirmed for this. But this is a pretty big league and an exciting move. So Purple Flower has managed to get herself a contract easily, I'd say, because she's been so good throughout the season. She's easily got herself a contract to be the first marble in the team, followed by Pink Poppy, who she's managed to get herself C due to her consistency. Same with Marmite, because again, I've put both of them in the camp of they've really just been consistently in that mid pack getting points in. Pink Poppy's managed to get herself the second marble spot. Marmite the third marble spot, and Green Goblin, because of his 2 first races, has managed to sign for the first marble spot. I don't know why there's no Black Hole or Firefly in it. I'm guessing they just didn't want to sign. Maybe they've got a different championship they want to compete in. Who knows? But anyway, there's another bit in silly season, which is, of course, we're making the drag championship soon, and these are the marbles that I've been speaking about moving to it. Green Goblin has, Purple Flower has, Marmite has, Blue Ocean has, Sandstorm, and Firefly all are rumoured to join the Marbula Global Drag Championship. And the one thing I'm going to point out is, why is Black Hole not looking for contract moves? Of course, it is a quarter of the way through the season. Only about a quarter, because there's going to be 20 races. So he has got a seat confirmed for at least another 2 quarters of the season. But still, I I would think that he'd be making moves considering his stock's definitely going through the roof right now. He's been doing having a really consistent season. Marmite's tried to shoot down rumours, and same with Purple Flower, about them joining the drag championship, as both of them want to be, both of them want to concentrate on their makeup season as well as this season, but they both are linked to a drive there. So I don't know what's going to happen with this season and who's going to be competing. It's basically nailed on that Green Goblin and Firefly are competing, but I'm not sure if Blue Ocean or Sandstorm's going to manage to get a contract. If so, they've probably got a really good sponsor, but Green Goblin, I don't know why he's competing here, to be honest, because I think he should be he should, like Marmite and Purple Flower, be saying that we should just compete and focus on one championship. But of course, he's gone for a different strategy, and all credit to him for it. If it pays off, he's going to be brilliant in two championships. But if it doesn't, who's basically is going to slump in both for concentrating on multiple championships at once. Firefly and Firefly's definitely a good sign for the drag championship, as she's been very good all season. But I'm not sure about Blue Ocean and Sandstorm. They really need to pick their game up if they're going to get the seat. None of these are confirmed, but hey, anyway, this is basically it, and all that we've got for this video. Is roughly 17 minutes, probably by the end of it. But anyway, please like and subscribe, because I really want subscribers to try and keep on making this content. But anyway, see you on the next one, and there'll probably be a few more races. There may be a gap between the two sports series due to having stuff to do. But anyway, see ya and bye.